is what I am. All right, hey guys. So I am going to be doing a training on let's talk about the facts and what I'm seeing to use that to evaluate people's businesses, my business, everybody's businesses. Um, One of the biggest things I've been seeing lately, and I know that a couple other leaders are saying, is that there's been a lot of excuses. And one thing that we know with excuses, the more you make an excuse, the easier it becomes to continue making excuses. With that being said, there's a lot of people that will show up sporadically. They'll be here one day and then disappear for a couple weeks. And when you see that in your business, whether you're showing up on the team page, the team groups, or just with your personal business, it leads to you not being consistent. And when you're not consistent, you don't get all the benefits of being consistent. You don't have customers continuously reordering or signing up with Scentsy Club or doing parties and stuff like that. The key is consistency, which granted, we are in the summer months, and summer, a lot of people are traveling. They are not looking at their phones as much, which is still a good thing, right? Because we all need that break. But at the same time, we still have to be showing up, and it's super easy to continuously show up each day. And this is being translated into the terms of sales. I've noticed that a lot of people who post sporadically or post maybe once a month, like their sales have plummeted lately. And with that also comes with, are you booking parties? We've had 3 booking blitzes and maybe one person will show up. And that's transpiring into what I'm seeing going on in your businesses with not being able to hit those milestones that you're wanting to hit with sales, not being able to grow your team, not being able to grow and get more parties because we're not able to continuously and consistently show up. Booking blitzes are your bread and butter. Parties are technically your bread and butter, but booking blitzes help you set up your month so that you know what's going on. I'm going to be out of town pretty much the whole month of July. Like I'm going to just be visiting my home in July. So with that being said, like having my schedule already written out is what's going to be a lifesaver. You can still work this business while you're on the road, and it doesn't take that much time to be able to do so. A lot of the things is like when you're not showing up, it's wasting the time of other people and it's wasting the time for you, right? You're saying you're wanting to show up, but then you end up getting distracted and you're not doing what the things that you need to do in order to be productive, which means you're not hitting your goals. You're not getting that extra money on the extra paychecks that you could be getting. You're not finding things that you can do in order to grow. So making sure we're showing up and showing out and being yourself true and through authentically is also going to be the biggest thing that sets you apart, because a lot of people sell Scentsy. I'm gonna tell you that straight up. I know one of the biggest excuses I get when I ask people to join is, I know too many people that sell Scentsy. You're right. How consistent are they though? How often do you see them post? Because that's a huge thing. I know a lot of people, and I'm not saying this to toot my own horn or anything like that, and it's not saying that I'm trying to steal people's customers, will literally come up to me and be like, my best friend, my sister, my aunt sells, but they don't post as much as you do. They don't do the little gifts that you do. They don't do special bundles that you do. And that's why they start buying from me. That's why they start doing parties. I'm not out here to steal people's customers. I'm just out here to make sure people are getting the products in their hands, because if they're like me and they love it just as much as they do, or as much as I do, they want those products. But sometimes you got to show them. You got to show them to make sure that they're seeing it. Because I'm also going to tell you that Disney 100th anniversary warmer, I bet you is going to sell out. Like that is
gorgeous.
Like it is spectacular. Like be on at 3 a.m. Don't be upset if you miss out. I mean, honestly, we all get upset. I ain't even gonna lie. But it's gonna be one of those things that you need to make sure your customers know about, and your customers need to know that we have products that sell out. That cowboy hat sold out within that first hour. Despite being slow and sales being down, we still have products that people want. So that's a huge thing to think about. So make sure you're showing up for your customers so they know what you have to offer, because not only are you investing with this business, you're investing with yourself. Because the more time that you put into, or the fact that you give yourself time to put into this business, you're going to start reaping what you sow. And it's totally okay that you're going through it. You have life. Like, this is your own business. You can step back and put it to the side, but don't do it permanently. And make sure your customers know what's going on. Like, hey, I have a medical procedure. My customers know if I'm going out of town. My customers know if I'm going to be out for the weekend. Like, if I'm going to be completely like, hey, y'all, if y'all try to reach me, ain't going to be able to contact me. So that's a huge thing, because you're building that like relationship with your customers, and relationships are key. But again, you have to show up. You have to be consistent. I talk about this all the time, but you have to take accountability and stop making the excuses. And one of those biggest things is that I hear a lot is that you have no time. Y'all, we have time. I remember way back when I was a little young consultant, just a star consultant, just a couple people on my time, or a couple people under me, doing this business, teaching, and just starting out my master's. And I was telling Chloe, my SSD, my sponsor, my person, hey, I ain't got time. She's like, yes, you do. No, I don't. Like, I'm sitting here like feeling sleep deprived. I'm like, I do not have time to work this business. And you know what I did? I learned how to make time. And it wasn't huge, significant sacrifices. Like, I was sacrificing 2 hours of sleep or just getting 2 or 4 hours of sleep at night. I was already barely getting sleep as is. It was changing my business to where I could work it in 15 to 30 minutes a day. And again, you do not have to work that consecutively. You do not have to sit down, which I honestly prefer to do, but you can do whatever is best and have 15 minutes of 2 to 5 minutes scheduling your post on your VIP page. You can have 5 minutes scheduling your party post. Now, when you have multiple parties going on that week, usually about 3 parties take me 15 minutes to schedule. And having 5 conversations, and y'all, it's super easy. Like, once you break it down like that, break it down with 1 5-minute increment. True. Sorry. So that's what changed my business. I would wake up early in the morning. I would schedule my post, and then I would have the 5 people I'm focusing on. And then what I started to do to even up my business, which is something that I share with y'all, is I broke it down by days. So Monday was team day. So Monday, I'm usually doing stuff with the team calls, my team email, reaching out to a couple people if I have time. Tuesdays are my host and party day. So who's hosted a party with me? Who do I need to get another host for this week to meet my goal? Anything like that. So my hostesses. Wednesday's my follow-up day. And follow-up day does not have to be, hey, did you get your order? Hey, do you need some more Scentsy? It could just be, hey, how are you doing? Right? People are people. They want to be checked in too. This is more than just making a sale. Don't treat people like they're transactional. Thursday is club day, either reaching out to my club people, letting them know they have points they have not used, or reaching out to some customers that order every single month and have not started a club yet. And I still don't know why. Like, I still have customers who I've been trying to get on club for months now. Months. Like, having those one-on-one conversations with them. And it's okay. I'm going to get them on club. That's one thing I already know. But making sure I'm having those conversations on Thursdays, on Fridays, or my join convo days, and also going to be my customer email days. I broke it down in 15 minutes. And if you just want to spend one day reaching out to 25 people, you can do that. If you're an introvert and you can't spend every single day talking to a whole bunch of people, I get it. I really get it. I know it doesn't seem like I would get it, but I get it. You can schedule that day as spending 20 to 30 minutes doing that. Life is chaotic, but you can do it. Think about this. This is a business. This is a job. This is work. When you go to work, did you have a schedule? Did you have a time you were supposed to report and a time you were supposed to leave? You have to make that time. And sometimes, those bosses be trying to get you to stay later. But making sure you have, we've all been there. So making sure that you understand that this is your business, you have hours you need to set. You have time that you need to set. 15 to 30 minutes a day is not long. I'm telling you, there's times I hide in my bathroom. Okay. I'm using the bathroom. I could be doing stuff I need to be doing with my business. I could take that time of peace and quiet and get everything done. Just plain and simple. So, and one of the biggest things that I've seen with excuses, and this is one saying that I want to say before I move on to like this next segment, is actions speak louder than words. Stop giving your sponsor, stop giving yourself, stop giving your family, stop giving your kids, your bosses excuses, and show up and do it. Because I'm telling y'all, again, actions speak louder than words. Are you going to start showing up really? Are you going to start investing 15 minutes into yourself, into your day? It's a huge thing. You make time for what you want to make time for. That is another huge thing. Whenever Chloe was telling me I needed to make time, I told her I couldn't until I was like, you know what? I need to. Financially, I need to rely on this business. And guess what I did? I learned how to make time. That's a huge counterpoint. So, a couple questions that you can pause because this is recorded to answer. If you want to jot this down real quick, I am going to move pretty quickly. You don't have to write down the questions, but just at least look at the numbers that you're going to be writing down. I'm going to ask questions about your time management. And just to get you kind of opening your eyes and seeing what you're actually investing your time in and seeing how you can alter that to be more beneficial. So, how much time do you spend doing things for you a day? Like, do you read a book? Do you do yoga? Do you do any of those? Do you watch TV? I mean, which that's a whole separate thing. Like, how much time do you do things for you? Like, what is like your moment? The next one, how much time do you spend scrolling either on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter? This one's going to get me. TikTok. I spend way too much time scrolling on TikTok, y'all. It's probably a really bad habit that I have. I ain't even gonna lie. It's a thing. But see, I know that. That's one of the best things when you're evaluating your business is seeing where your time and everything is doing. And it sometimes calls for reflection. And that reflection can get you every time. How much time do you spend watching TV a day? Think about how many episodes of your favorite show you watch. If you watch a movie at least once a day, that's at least 2 hours almost. How much time do you spend cooking? I know that might seem weird.
Little as possible these days. It's hard to cook when you don't have anybody.
How much time does it take me to order what I want on DoorDash or to drive somewhere to pick something up? I'm doing better at it, I promise. But how do you take naps daily or do you take naps weekly? And how many naps do you take? That's a big one. How much time do you spend with your family a day, or you can also put a week in there because I think that's also super important to evaluate. Making sure that you are learning how to put your phone down and only use it when it's beneficial so you can be present. So that is a huge thing. So I want you to think about all that. Look at the numbers you put down. Think about how much time you're using in all those areas. And if that's the lifestyle you want, because what do you want? What do you want out of this business? Do you want just like 50 extra dollars, or do you actually want to make a couple $100s or thousands of dollars? Get out of debt, like travel. When I tell y'all, after I had gone to Canada, there is no trip, there is no vacation like a Scentsy trip. And I've heard all these other people say this before, and I was like, okay, whatever. Like, no, but when you start like realizing how much is spent and like everything that went into it, that was one of the best experiences we ever had. And I'm also glad I did the buy-in for my husband to be able to experience that because it was freaking magical. And you're going to want to earn this next incentive trip. And this is why I want to do this now before I'm going to be really crazy busy so that y'all have the time to assess and start implementing this into your business. All right. I skipped a page. Oopsies. All right. So now here's another thing, and this might take you a little bit longer to figure out. What's your PRV currently at? So take the time, figure that out. And then when you think about it, or write it down. What was your goal this month? Because we are on the 28th. Friday is the last day. So we got pretty much two more full days of this month. What was your goal this month? And just also remember, this month ain't over. So as you're writing this down, if you see a huge gap, miracles happen. Don't give up. And if not, take a deep breath and realize tomorrow or Saturday will be a brand new month to start over and change your business. How many parties did you have this month? And how many parties did you want? So take a moment to write that down. Next, if you're on my team, you can kind of recognize these because these are the things that I ask whenever we're creating goals for each at the beginning of the month. So did you get any new clubbers this month? And I'm gonna kind of one up this. If so, how many? How many clubs ran this month? How many people had a club through you? So if you don't know how to check that, quick and easy ways, go to your orders on your dashboard, click on Scentsy Club, and then you're going to scroll down. You're going to see the club PRV earned from last month and the club and what you're currently at for this month, which is really cool. You can see how many subscribers you have and how many subscriptions. And then you can see currently how many club orders ship this month and how many club orders will ship next month, which is really great because this is evaluating this. Right now, I'm almost at 500. I did get close to 1,000 at one point, but I recruited some of my clubbers. So it's time to like start ramping that back up. Honestly, y'all, if y'all could get club at $2,000 a month, think about that. That's your bonus right there. That's a minimum of a $600 paycheck. Then you can just focus on doing parties and getting more people and recruiting. Like once you get one leg of success going for you, you can keep moving and grooving, and that's one less stress for you. How many new customers did you get this month? And what was your goal? So with all these questions, how many, what was your goal? How many conversations do you have a week? Intentional. And I don't mean like conversations you having with your family or your significant other, your children, or anything like that. I mean, are they Scentsy conversations? How many conversations are you having about Scentsy or with your customers that are Scentsy? That's even if it's just checking in. How often do you post? If I go on your, and this is a huge thing, because usually it's very on one side of the spectrum and very on the other side of the spectrum. So can I go to your profile or can I go to your Facebook profile and see that you are a Scentsy consultant, but also see that you are more than just a Scentsy consultant? Does that make sense? If I scroll on your profile, am I going to see things that are just Scentsy, or am I also going to see your life? Am I going to see your family? Am I going to see that you have a personality outside of Scentsy? What is going to gravitate your customers to you? Then there's on the other side of the profile, which I used to be really bad at, and I had to tone down, which is, are you just sharing memes? What can I gather from you? Do you sell Scentsy? I don't even know if you sell Scentsy. I think one of the most embarrassing things is reaching out to somebody, saying, hey, how you doing? And then eventually talking about Scentsy, and they're like, oh, I sell Scentsy. Girl, when have you been selling Scentsy? Because I've been like looking at your page for a whole hot minute and haven't seen anything about Scentsy. So what you really want is a balance between people should know that you sell Scentsy and people should know that you have a personality and a life and you have interest, because also your interest is going to be what gravitates people towards you. That's just point blank period, right? Are you a family person? Do you like to read books? Are you politically active? And that the politically active can kind of be a double-edged sword. And I know that personally because I am a politically active person. I used to be very quiet because I thought that would affect my business. But here's the thing. I have a history degree. I have a master's that's so included with politics. Politics is who I am. Talking about political things is who I am. So making sure that if you do that, be careful. Don't bash. But people will at least know that's your personality. And some people might think it's distasteful to talk about politics, and that's totally fine. That's your opinion. I have mine. So I think either way, moving on, because I don't know how I dived off in that tangent like I always do. It was funny. I was messaging one of my friends and she's like, "Oh, look, here's a history lesson for the day." So, you're not wrong. So, based off what you have put previously and looking at your answers for whenever we started with what's your PRV, your parties, your club, and customers, and how often you're posting. Also, that posting goes for your VIP page. You're not active on your VIP page. Why are your customers going to be active? And again, it's a small percentage of people that are going to be active on your VIP page. That's one thing I've learned. I have 300 people on my VIP page. Have y'all seen my post? I know I just hit 300 like last month. Paula, I was like, oh my God, look at us. We've gotten here 3 years later, 100 people per year. That's what we're chalking it up to. So that being said, don't get discouraged because nobody's like liking your stuff. Honestly, I have about 2 people that go on my VIP page besides like my teamies that hype me up each day. Like, and that's what you get when you start building relationships. People who may not be able to support you daily or even monthly, but they still want to like your post so it can help boost the algorithm, which also ties back into relationships, which again ties back into consistency, which again, how many people are you talking to a day? How are you building those relationships? Because you have to take time to talk to people. Stop being scared. When you're making a post that does not count as talking to people, you need to message people one-on-one. You can send voice messages. You can send stuff on Messenger. I prefer Messenger, okay? That's just the easiest way for me to communicate. But some people prefer text message. And that's also trying to learn your customers and learn what's the best avenue to communicate with them. I have some people that prefer email. So all this all correlates back to, are you consistent though? Because the lack of consistency shows in the sales that we have. And again, it is slow right now. Some people are having to make very hard decisions when it comes to their bills. And unfortunately, since he's not a priority for some, and that's totally okay. Don't mean they can't still love and support you. Don't mean you can't check in on them. Like, how many times have you had a bad day and all of a sudden somebody randomly comes and checks in on you, like the grace of God, somebody sent them your way and that made you feel better? These are people. Like, make sure you're showing up, scheduling that time within yourself, because that is huge. Is scheduling your time like this is an actual business. Stop with the excuses. And when I say stop with the excuses, please don't feel like if you are literally having the world crumble down on you, that I mean that, if that makes sense. Like, because we have moments where we have to take a breath and take a step back. So, but what I mean is making the excuses of I don't have time. And I feel like I can speak on this because, again, I have been there. I have said the same things. I have not shown up for every training. I've not done that. Chloe's doing a training on Thursday. I'm gonna be there. I'm gonna be late because I have a party live, but I'm gonna be there. So the thing is prioritizing, making sure you have your goals, and honestly have a dream board. I thought they were stupid. Please don't come at me if you love dream boards. I don't mean it. I'm sorry, that was a really poor choice of words. I didn't think that they were stupid. I just did not have any interest in them and I did not see the value in them. That was the better choice of words. Now, though, your girl's got a dream board with pictures, with checks that she wants to one day have, with the bills that I want to pay off, the car payments I have. Got student loans, y'all. Student loans aren't cheap. Okay? They ain't cheap. I got a mortgage and I got places I want to see before I die. Because you never know what happens in life. And I'm tired of being on my phone all the time. I'm tired of not being present. Because that was another thing. Like, this business did give me an avenue to see my family. But then I would also be texting on my phone, responding every moment of the day. And so you have to find the balance, and you can find the balance. Most of the time, I don't respond unless I'm on my computer. That's one of the biggest things. I'm going to be present and I'm going to work my business in the time frame that I schedule. So that is all. If you have questions, comments, or concerns, feel free to message me. I'm going to go ahead and stop this recording. And y'all have a great day. Bye.